Okay folks, so I'm just trying to find a route that isn't going to take me through a load of villages and traffic, but in under 10 minutes I'm going to try to answer the question, what do I think of the new Innovv N2 for BMW? What do I like about it? What don't I like about it? What do I think could be improved? What am I indifferent about, and should you buy one? Let's start with probably the thing that I was most critical about on the, well, one of the things I was most critical about on the regular N2, which was the screen. Now that I found to be okay for brightness and in direct sunlight, which there is right now, at least in it, the sun is actually coming into my face. I don't know how it shows up on the camera, but it's all right. Let's go this way. I'm not entirely sure where I'm going, but okay. So yeah, it's okay. Out of direct sunlight, as you can see, it's not bad. It's clear, it's crisp, and I can see it fine. Now I do have my sun visor down. Certainly not the brightest I've used. I think it is definitely a better quality display than the regular N2. I say regular N2, the N2 that is without that is with the cameras and is not a BMW specific unit. And this road is incredibly slippy because of the houses they're building there. Yeah, so I'd say I think the screen is larger. I'll stick it up on the screen now because I know the N2 is I think it's a 5.99 inch. And I think this is 6.5, but I will stick it up on the screen now. So yeah, this road is greasy as hell. So yeah, the screen. It's definitely an improvement over the standard N2 for sure. The brightness, I don't know. It is still lacking a bit. I've got, sunlight and reflection now. I mean, to be fair, I'm probably being a bit harsh with it. It's fine. I can read it and see where I'm going. And it is that thing of you shouldn't be staring at your sat-nav all the time anyway. So, and you're not going to be in direct sunlight permanently, obviously. So I do think the screen on this is definitely an improvement over the standard N2. The other thing that I was quite critical about the N2 was the touchscreen, element of it. Now you could say, well, this doesn't really matter because you can control it with the Wonderwheel, but I still wanted to see what it was like. And if I'm sniffing a lot, it's because even though it's 8 degrees, I'm bloody freezing. So it's fine. I mean, these are winter gloves, and these they're not certified for touchscreen use, but they work fine. It's certainly an improvement over the over the regular N2, which is slightly annoying because obviously on that your only option to control it is your fingers. But if we switch into the nav mode, because obviously this is the BMW specific version, and this bit of road is filthy as well. Oh, my brand new bike's getting dirty. So if we go out, we can go back, and like all of the other units, we can control. The scrolling isn't as quick as it is on some of the others. I don't know if there's like an acceleration that they can do, but it is you have to spin it a little bit more than some of the others to get it to go. But then when you right press, you go back into into whatever application you're in. So there really only is two screens on this, which is obviously the Apple CarPlay Android Auto element of it. There is the actual bike info screen, which I'm trying to remember how to switch back to. There we go. Two of the menu up is how you get there. I should have had this prepared before I came out. So yeah, two presses of the menu up button, and that takes you back out to the main screen. Now, this is the part where I would say this falls into the category of both I like it, but I'm also indifferent. And this isn't just the Innovv. I've said this about the Chiggy, the Carpuride, the Aochi. I personally don't get the benefit out of this screen because the one underneath it is why have we done that? Have we gone out to that? So the screen, the main bike screen, I mean, in fairness, it is the most faithful recreation I've seen of the bike's dashboard. I don't know why it keeps doing this, but it's getting on my nerves now. And so, yeah. But why would I want it why would I want that screen duplicated twice, or duplicated at all? I mean, I suppose if you had the BMW screen on the lean angle side, so I could, for the BMW, go down into the lean angle or the sport dash, so I could have that. I suppose that's one reason that it might be useful. One thing I don't know is why it kept going to the other screen. It seems to have stopped now. Now, I did have an issue when I first started the bike up, where this screen came up, Apple CarPlay fired up, and then the whole screen went black, and I had to take it out of the cradle and put it in again. So I don't quite know what was going on there, but hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt me anymore. Now, there might well be a firmware update, which I will confess I haven't done. I will have a look when I get home and see. But yeah, it was a little bit frustrating that it kept switching from that screen over to that screen, and I don't know why. But anyway, so I do like the screen. I like the screen size. I like the fact that obviously it has Wonderwheel control. The build quality of the actual main unit on this is far superior to the N2. The N2 felt a little bit cheap and plasticky. The cameras, absolutely not, but the actual main unit didn't feel as premium as I was expecting, but this absolutely does. Now, this kind of takes a cue from the BMW, Navigator, in that it sits very flush with the cradle. Now, this really does bring up the only real issue I have with this, and it is a bit of an OCD type of thing, is, as you can see, it's not central. It's not overhanging on that side as much as it is on that side. Now, the problem is, I know some people are going to be running to the comments and saying, pull this 4 screws there and the cradle loosens and you can move it. Yeah, I know, and I have, and it's so far over that when the screen is down, it's actually touching, so I can't move it any further, and my screen is in the highest setting. So if I'd had it in the lowest, I wouldn't have been able to move it over as far as I have. Now, arguably, that is not a functional issue. That's just me being a little bit me being a little bit anal, as it were. But I don't know, it just bugs me that I can't get it in the middle. Anyway, so I think this could definitely benefit from a sunshade or a sun hood. I'm sure some bright Spark can probably come up with a 3D printed version of one. But I do think it could probably benefit from it. The screen, I've spoke to a few friends and they're like, Paul, you're obsessed with screen brightness. But I think if I'm going to review these units and I'm going to do them justice, I need to be thorough and I need to rate them in all areas. And I do think the screen brightness and the clarity and how easy it is to see in direct sunlight is something people do genuinely care about. So for me, that is really the only shortfall on this. The rest is kind of, yeah, it's not the end of the world, kind of. It might, bother you, but there again, it might not. The thing I'm most impressed about is the way it fits into the cradle and sits very flush and slim. Doesn't impede with the TFT. It boots up amazingly fast. And if there is a firmware update, just to fix those few little niggles that I've seen while I've been using it so far today, like the screen, jumping from one to the other, that for me would really make it a solid unit. So anyway, I'm going to stop waffling. If you want to pick one of these up, as always, there'll be a discount code and a link in the video description. And I think you get 10% off. But yeah, thanks to Innovv for sending this. I shall feedback my thoughts to them, and what I'm going to start to do that I've mentioned in other videos, I'm going to create a Patreon post over on my Patreon page. It's free, don't worry. I know I keep harping on about that, but I know some people might not realize that it is free. I'm not asking for money. And what I'll do, if there's any update, any issues that I've found as I ride with it more, I'll obviously keep that page up to date. So even if the video gets out of date, you can still head there and find out how I'm getting on with it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.